And we've picked up a new ability. So that is going to be, I think, our sonic ability, which is going to help us to break down, I think, stone. So that's fun. How convenient. We're going into a stony pyramid-like place, into the ruins, our 4th level. And this is where the game kind of takes a really big spike in difficulty. But it's definitely doable with the tools that we've been given. And in my humble opinion, best music of the game. That's our last ability that we get, and that's actually levitation. So, again, I'll show you how that works shortly. But here, this is going to help us to break these stones so that we can get through. And these give you like a little bit of a lift sort of thing. They kind of do what the levitation spell does, but instead of you using your ESP to facilitate that, instead you just do it all on your own. Cool. So we're going to use levitate here. Lasts for just a second, just long enough to get us over that little obstacle there. And trust me, you don't want to land in that thing. They kill you pretty hard. Alright. So we'll try to get across here unscathed. Oh, good. So this is a place where this explode really comes in handy. You just murder everything and you're all set. I could have fought them all by hand, but again, they're a little tricky. Alright, so those green things don't die, so it's just best to try to avoid them and try to time things as best that you can. You definitely want to make sure that you pick up as much of that levitate powering up as you can, because you're going to need it, trust me. Alright, go through this door here, and I'm also going to use explode to kill that top projectile throwing thing, because it's just a pain in the butt. Alright. So we got some health back finally. And put on our invincibility here. Just a little easier than trying to fight the good fight without it. And I think it's really important in these levels to kill as many enemies as possible, just because you're really trying to level up those new powers that you have. Some of these rooms are just intense, so I prefer to try my luck with the invincibility spells. Yeah, nothing really hurts those green diamonds, so there's no sense in trying to get away from them. Or trying to kill them, I should say. You just kind of accept what they are. Move on. Ooh. There we go. And get more sonic upgrades there too. And I'm gonna kill that projectile guy again with the explode. You can do it different ways, like you can fight him, but it's a little tricky. The other important thing to know too is when you have your levitate spell on, you can't use the invincibility, so it's one or the other. Something I learned the hard way. I got roasted pretty hard. There we go. I don't really need to use that, I guess. There we go. I do, however, want that levitate upgrade, so definitely go up there. Yeah, they give you a couple of different little puzzle solving options at this stage in the game. Puzzles aren't really difficult, but it's easy to miss stuff the first time you play through a level. And kill this Batman. Yeah, very easy kills with how much we've leveled up our person here. Lucia. Again, this is a spot you could easily use the invincibility stuff, but don't always have to. I will here, though. It's a little bit less predictable. There we go. Alright. So last thing you want is for that big cylinder to drop down on you, so... Oh, I should have probably actually gotten rid of those boxes first. There we go. Perfect. Thank goodness there's no shortage of health and ESP in these levels. I found the game to be pretty generous. Thankfully. Take that. That's what I have to say to you. And there's nothing over there. Great. Lots of nice little power-ups on this screen, too. And I don't want to leave just yet, because I want to go get my last levitate over here. Alright. We're doing not so shabby. The level design is definitely really well done. Can really appreciate the continuity and like how you get to improve your character and actually use your abilities. It's like when you play Mega Man, right? Like you get all these new abilities as you go and you get to use them. But I find like, I'm not saying that this is better than Mega Man, but in some ways it is, because you get to actually use a lot of your things more than once. You know? Like, I remember in Mega Man, that stupid sausage that you get at the end, the floating sausage, I think you only use that, what, like once or twice? Something like that? Here, we get to use everything. The only power-up we haven't used yet is the freeze on spot, this guy here, which we'll use eventually. We don't really need to use it just yet, if you're wondering. If you're calling my bullshit, and you're all like, oh hey, that totally is not something that we've used. But, yeah, it gets to be important after. Oh, look at this crazy sprinting. Again, it's out of control. Alright. We're doing pretty good here. So here I'm just going to put on invincibility because it's really hard to avoid these green dudes. Just don't want any trouble. Yeah, and I love as you level up your different abilities how much easier things get to fight. Because there's nothing worse, I find, than when you start a game and you feel so weak and you're like, oh, I just beat like this other really like hardcore RPG recently and like now I'm just a wiener again in this new game and I hate it. And it's just so much better after you take some time and actually level up a bit. In this game too, it doesn't take too much to level up. Just a little bit of perseverance and exploration, really. Alright. So you can tell based by the fact that we got a health and an ESP replenishment that we're probably getting pretty close to the end of the level. Which wouldn't be too far off the truth. Alright. Gonna put on invincibility here because this boss is pretty hairy. Come on, levitation field. And there it goes. Yeah, blocked us. This guy looks like a praying mantis in like a big trench coat.